President Marcos pushes for the abolition of travel tax, making it a priority bill. The Bureau of Internal Revenue says cases were filed against 25 personnel over the alleged misuse of letters of authority or LOAs. Jose de Venecia Jr., the longest-serving House Speaker post-EDSA, has died at 89. Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show became a vivid celebration of Puerto Rican culture. And pop star Chappell Roan is no longer represented by Casey Wasserman's agency after the Epstein file revelations. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. pushes for the abolition of travel tax as he includes the measure in his priority bills forwarded to Congress on Tuesday, February 10. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro says the possible impact on revenue will be tackled once the bill is crafted. House Speaker Boji D says removing travel tax is, quote, a practical, equitable, and progressive reform that encourages tourism and supports our regional integration efforts. Currently, presidential son and House Majority Leader Sandro Marcos has filed a related bill in the lower chamber. The same issue is being discussed in the Senate. The president also certifies as urgent other bills addressing online sexual abuse and child sexual abuse or exploitation materials, anti-disinformation, and the resetting of the BARM elections. Marcos now has 52 bills in his common legislative agenda, among them the anti-dynasty bill, which he seeks to pass this June. With 2 years left to this term, Marcos is under pressure from a dissatisfied public amid the worst corruption scandal in decades, a 4-year low dip in the economy, and plummeting approval ratings. The Bureau of Internal Revenue says cases were filed against 25 of its personnel over the alleged misuse of letters of authority or LOAs. During a Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing Tuesday, February 10, BIR Commissioner Charlito Mendoza says the Tax Bureau is also investigating 30 employees over alleged LOA abuse.
Maliwanag po na nakalagay sa ating RMO na ang mga kawani ng BIR na hindi susunod sa mga bagong panuntunan ay mananagot, makakasuhan sila either administratively, civilly, or criminally.
LOAs usually mark the start of a tax audit or investigation as these authorize BIR revenue officers to examine a taxpayer's books for a specified period. The BIR suspended the issuance of LOAs in November 2025 and resumed audit operations last January 27 with new guidelines. LOA issuances will now be limited to 1 letter per taxpayer per taxable year, and LOAs will now also be system-generated to minimize human intervention. Mendoza also adds, the agency is currently reshuffling Revenue District Officer personnel. Jose de Venecia Jr., the longest-serving House Speaker post-EDSA, has died at 89. His family confirmed his passing Tuesday, February 10. De Venecia was the brains behind the Rainbow Coalition, which united numerous parties in the House from 1992 to 1998. He returned as congressman in 2001 and subsequently regained his post as Speaker of the House during the administration of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, who was installed president after the Second People Power ousted Estrada. He remained Speaker until 2008 and finished his term in 2010. Post-speakership, he was appointed Special Envoy for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation during the presidency of Rodrigo Duterte. Tributes also begin pouring in, with former House Speaker Martin Romualdez remembering the late statesman for his brilliance, courage, and compassion that, quote, helped shape the soul of our nation. Bad Bunny turns Levi's Stadium into a celebration of Puerto Rican culture during the Super Bowl halftime. He delivers a high-energy performance with a surprise appearance by Lady Gaga and a tribute from reggaeton pioneer Daddy Yankee. The halftime show marks a milestone for Latin music on the Super Bowl stage, following last year's record-breaking performance by Kendrick Lamar that drew more than 130 million viewers. Bad Bunny uses the spotlight to celebrate his Puerto Rican roots and highlight reggaeton's growing influence in mainstream US culture. He also faces criticism from President Donald Trump and other conservatives over his outspoken views on US immigration policy. On Sunday, Trump posted on social media calling the singer-led halftime show absolutely terrible. Pop star Chappell Roan says she is no longer represented by the talent agency led by Los Angeles 2028 Olympics chief Casey Wasserman. Wasserman has faced criticism for flirtatious email exchanges with convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell more than 20 years ago. Maxwell is a British socialite found guilty of child sex trafficking and other offenses in connection with deceased financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. She is serving a 20-year prison sentence. Roan says in a post, quote, "Artists deserve representation that aligns with their values and supports their safety and dignity. This decision reflects my belief that meaningful change in our industry requires accountability and leadership that earns trust." The talent agency had no immediate comment. And that's today's wrap. I'm June Reyes. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. For more updates, download the Rappler app.